All right, welcome back to Moon Knight. This is issue 2 of 14. To recap last time, Moon Knight is trapped in a mental institute. We learn that the person holding him there is Seth, as Khonshu tries to free Moon Knight. And then the people in the institute tell Mark, hey, all this stuff isn't real. So now we see how they escape. So let's hop in. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. These are just scribbles of a sick man, Mark. No, this is history. These are records. And it's Mark's notebook with drawings of Moon Knight and Jake Lockley. Must clean the blood off the streets. Perfect disguise. Taxi driver. And then we see another page of his notebook. Weapons of war. Grappling hook. Truncheon. Crescent throwing darts. So it's just all of his tools that he's used. He's just documenting what he uses as Moon Knight. And these are worse handwriting than me. This is like 5th grader stuff, Mark. What's going on? All of this happened. This was my life. And now flash to reality. He's talking to Dr. Emmett, who seemingly is in charge of this institution. We saw last time that the guards that help hands behind him are actually Seth's goons. Your life? Why do you insist on making things so difficult? I am not Mark Spector. Then who are we today, Mark? Jake Lockley, Steve Grant. I am Moon Knight, Fist of Khonshu. That one again. I expected more, Mark. These are delusions. I'm not finished. Hospitals like these don't even exist. Mental health facilities like these are relics. You are not a doctor. This is not your real face. So last issue, the problem is that he didn't know what was real, if he was actually Mark or if he was actually in this institution since he was 12. Now, after seeing the outside, he seemingly gets it. He knows that this is fake. He's Mark Spector. Everything that he's been feeling like real is actually real. Mark, you said the same thing when you came here from the orphanage when you were 12. Such a bright boy, held back by a terrible illness. I've tried to be patient with your treatment all these years, and here we are, back where we started. So I'm afraid we are going to need some more aggressive methods. So the help hands try to grab him to take him to get shock therapy, and he says, Amut. What did you say? Your name. Amut, God of Judgment. That's who you are right now. And so he says, you can't hold me forever. I'm coming for you, Amut. It's Emmett. It's Irish, not Egyptian. Get him out of here. While getting taken out, he bumps into Frenchie. And then he gets a flashback of his days as Moon Knight. Is it gassed up, Frenchie? Yep, she's ready to fly. So you got the Moon Knight plane. Sorry, Moon Knight helicopter. So then he gets strapped down for the shock therapy. Gotta say, I love this part of the job, Billy. Yeah, I get a real charge out of this. Get it? A real charge. And our boy Spectre got it too, as he turns it on and shocks him. And then Mark wakes up as Moon Knight. Well, this isn't going nearly as I'd hoped. What? I said maybe if you'd help me. Help you? All I've ever done is help you. What about when I saved you from the death in those deserts years ago? I'm sorry. It's just that I've been here for so long. Where? In my mind? No. That is where you think this place is, my son. I've been with you so long, yet you know so little. Maybe I should have trusted you more. Maybe we wouldn't have gotten into this mess. So this is what I'm talking about whenever I say Jeff Lemire is soft rebooting Moon Knight with this run. He's giving us more information about Khonshu and Moon Knight's powers. And Mark goes, if this isn't my mind, then where are we? We are in a vessel. You would call it a spacecraft. I think you would understand that. But it would be inaccurate. For we are outside both space and time. We are in the other void, where my kind come from, where we have been trapped for a very long time. And it's a pyramid outside of, so beautiful, Greg Smallwood. I love this. Your kind gods, the Egyptian gods? The Egyptians were our playthings back when we were still free to travel between this place and your dimension, but we can no longer do that. We can still project our consciousness through the other void. That is why we now act through hosts like you. So basically, a while ago when they were considered Egyptian gods, it was because that was just their little era to do whatever they wanted. They were going back and forth playing with humans. So they just got the rep of Egyptian gods. They're not specifically Egyptian gods, in the Marvel universe at least. But they need hosts currently because they're just so weak. That is why Khonshu picked Mark Spector, and he gets into more reasons why later. There are others? Of course. We've been waging a silent war for centuries, but now Seth has found a loophole, a way out of the other void. I am sorry, my son. I know it is hard to grasp. You see, it was your mind that first drew me to you. You have a weak mind, Mark. And a weak mind is an easily manipulative mind. But they don't tell Mark that, even though they kind of know that's why he was chosen. You must know you have a weak mind, Mark. It is why I was able to use you as my aspect so easily. But now it is the very thing they are using against you, filling your mind with delusions, lies. It's not just Seth. Yes, Amut the doctor. There are many of us. Amut is simply using the doctor as a host, but Seth has promised her and others their freedom. But we have allies as well. They may need to reveal themselves to you sooner than later, but his allies and mine all work through hosts like you. Only Seth has crossed over. He is dangerous, and his power grows by the second. So before we continue on, let's talk more about Khonshu. So Khonshu is not a villain, not a good guy. He's mostly just there. He's a helper. He wants to control everything, essentially, just to put his vision out there. He physically can't really do anything without Mark so far. If you've been keeping up with Moon Knight, which I have to an extent, I haven't read Vengeance of Moon Knight. I know that's really good. And I read After Bloodhunt, but not that far, so I need to read all that. But you'll know that Khonshu has mystical powers. He can do whatever, but he can't physically do anything without a host. He chooses Mark because Mark is manipulative. His mind is weak, as he believes. So Khonshu is not inherently evil. He's just done bad things. There was a time, I don't know if you know this, if you scroll through Instagram a lot, I'm sure you've seen it, if your feed is all comics. Moon Knight taking everybody's powers. That's the age of Khonshu. Stuff like that he's done where he just wants control and he's like, I'm going to stab all these heroes in the back. All of Mark's friends, I'm going to stab in the back. That's pretty current still because Mark got kicked out of the Avengers for that. But yeah, so he's not evil. He's not good. He's kind of just there. He's a god. Yeah. Okay, going back to the comic. How do I know if this is real? Oh, you don't. That is the hard part. Now you must have faith in me. They will use your mind against you. They will fill it with these lies, these delusions. But you have to remember, no matter where you think you are, no matter what you see, this is the truth. You and me here. What you saw in Manhattan, those are the constants you must hold on to. You must fight your way back. Do you understand, my son? And Mark says, yes. Good. I will send your consciousness back to your body. You should put this back in. With those things I said about Khonshu, the real question is, he chose Mark because he's easily manipulative. Who is manipulating Mark at this time? Is it Khonshu? Is it Seth? Is it Dr. Amud? Who knows? That's the real question. Is if you have a split mind and you're just going to say yes to whatever, why wouldn't you say yes to the person that you think is going to trust you or think is going to help you? So he gets flashed back to reality. And then they put him into the main little center again in his little chair. As Crawley walks up, my, they sure did a number on you, didn't they, Mark? That only can mean one thing, that you're starting to see what this place really is. That's when they started zapping me, is when I found out. I have experienced many things in my day. They helped open my mind to new ways of seeing things, new ways of thinking. That's this old blowhard's way of saying I did a lot of acid in my youth and it messed me up. But I think it also let me see their faces, the dog heads. But it let me see your face too, Mark. It was brave what you did trying to escape on the roof, but you did it all wrong. The word around here is if you want to get out, you need to go down, not up. What? The escape path is downstairs? We're already in like a basement. How do we do that? Don't worry, my boy. We are not alone. A plan has been concocted. Be ready. Well, when is it? Tonight. So the gang has made him an escape plan already. How coinkydink. you need to escape and they already have a plan for you to escape and you don't have to do anything? That's so easy. Whoa, that's too easy. But I won't go any more about that because it is a full moon after all. So we'll do a little tidbit right here. Moon Knight's powers also do work based off the cycle of the moon. I believe they confirm this in this comic. At least they do it in like the current Moon Knight runs. Let's talk about it a little bit. It used to be that people thought they weren't sure. They were like, oh, maybe it does work that way, or maybe it doesn't. And Moon Knight is unreliable narrator because he is still crazy. So they just didn't know if it was real or if it was just him psyching himself up. It was like a placebo effect. But no, it's real. And so Frenchie comes in, opens the door, and he's like, we gotta go. And so they go. Jean-Paul Duchamp, Frenchie, you used to help me as Moon Knight. Yes, and now I'm here to help you again, Mark. I found that in storage. I thought you would want it back. May I suggest we expedite this way, Mark? We have little time. So Crawley's here too. And then Mark says, no. What do you mean, no? We have to go. This is the best course of action. No, there's other people here that we need to save. Marlene, Gina, I saw them. We got to save them. They were important to me once. I can't leave them here. I must guide them. I must protect the travelers of the night. So Crawley and Jean, you go get them and meet me back here. I'm going to change into my Moon Knight costume. You're asking too much of us. What if they see us? Ah, I like it when they see me coming. Moon Knight. Yeah. Get pumped, dude. I fucking love Moon Knight. Moon Knight is, to me, is like Batman, but if he was able to kill and it wasn't as hinged, it's just unhinged Batman, essentially. That's my opinion on it. So they go get the gang. They steal Gina. They're like, you got to come with us, dear. Frenchie grabs Marlene, who is asleep, while Mark is putting on his costume. And it's the Mr. Knight costume, not the full Moon Knight costume. I'm here. We are dealing with the invasion of immortals from another dimension. We are on the clock, people. Let's rock. That's my boy. Yes, sir. Moon Knight is full action now. So they start trying to escape, going through the halls. How much time do we have, John Paul? I cannot say for sure, but I put enough tranquilizer in their dinner to knock normal men out for hours. But they are not normal men. So I'm not really sure. And then there's one more thing that Mark says here. I am not Mark. I am Mr. Knight now. John Paul, only Mr. Knight. So another thing that Mark has is that people don't know if the Moon Knight is a separate personality or if it's an extension of Mark Spector. My thoughts on it is that it's not a separate personality. It's really just whoever is the personality hosting it. So if Jake Lockley is in charge, Mr. Knight would be Jake Lockley, etc. It just allows them to do their hero work. So they start going through the basement, and while they're going down, the walls are in hieroglyphics. We're not in Hell's Kitchen anymore. And then they open the door, and they're in the subway tunnels with sand everywhere, graffiti everywhere. There are people in the subway cars. Oh no, those are not people. As zombified mummies come out. And that's where we end this issue. I love Moon Knight. I love this run. It does so much for the character. And honestly, the art is so beautiful. Even if this was a bad story, which it's not. Shout out to Jeff Lemire. Hopefully Jeff Lemire gives me something. He won't have to give me anything. Give me some good comics, you know what I'm saying? But the art is also on another tier. Greg Smallwood, I'll do a little shout out for him. He did Human Target, which is another good one. We might go over that. That is written by Tom King. Tom King, in my opinion, does some good stuff, some bad stuff. Yeah, just like every writer, good and bad. Anyways, thank you for watching, listening, enjoying. Peace out.